All right, G, good to see you today.
Hey, Mark. Good to see you again.
Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about how we can use BigTilt to actually train speed control, and in particularly also how it might help us learn green reading skills.
Love it.
So we have a right to left slope here, pretty good amount, about 4% of break. And what we have represented here with the well line projection is the actual path of the ball. And currently we have it at what we call the ideal capture speed. So a lot of players think that they really have a very narrow window in order to roll the ball down and make a putt. But the reality is there's actually what we call a capture window, or even referred to as the putting banana of possibilities for the putt at hand. So I'd like to show you a projection feature here in BigTilt.
I like bananas.
So if we go into the preferences menu, we can actually change the speed that we would hit the ball, and I'm going to show both the fall in and aggressive line at the same time. And you'll notice this creates a capture window of possibilities, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you tend to hit putts more aggressively or tend to die them in, or are you
Die
somewhere
them
in between?
Die them in.
More of a died in. So for you on this right to left slope, definitely you might favor the higher end
Absolutely.
of the capture window. But I think it's really good for players to recognize how big of a zone they have. Would you agree as a coach?
Absolutely, because usually when we teach people, they say they show us only one line, and with this, visualization, this new way to come to the putt, they will say, okay, I've got a lot of possibilities. Just one line, one speed, I've got a ton of possibilities.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed, coaching with BigTilt now over the last 4 years, is that step one is for players to identify the zone that they do have. But then what I think the real training skill is being able to recognize out on the golf course, hey, when would I use the more aggressive line? When would I use the more diet in? But I think for developing the baseline skill set, I haven't found a better way of coaching it.
Totally agree.
So let's go ahead. We're going to have you hit this putt.
Sure.
You can kind of choose the area of the zone that you might prefer. But with a large break like this, there actually is a pretty significant window.
Yeah, a huge one. And the thing is, on this putt, for me, if I make the putt, it's cool. But if I do not make the putt, I don't want to have like a 4, 5, or 6 footer behind this. So I will use this fall in line to be sure if I miss the putt, I will have a very short putt behind.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and see it. Oh, so pretty good effort here. Oh, backdoored it. This man's a professional, right?
You got this one on video, I hope so, because I'm not going to do it twice.
One take wonder.
Yeah, it's good. But the thing is, it's so helpful to get that line and to know exactly where to aim and what line you need to follow. So this is so good, and I'm using on a daily basis as you are. And really often now when I go on a golf course, I try to draw that line. I try to see that line exactly the one I've got on my BigTilt. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. What I've noticed with the players that I coach a lot of college level golfers, is they're able to develop the skill sets of visualization here in our putting studio. And as you mentioned, they're able then to take those skills out onto the golf course. I find that extremely valuable as a coach, because trying to teach these concepts outdoors, trying to set up, ball markers, tees, string lines, we might be able to set up, one putt, but it takes us 10 minutes then to change to another where we can just push a button here. So let me go ahead and change the putt that we have real quick. I'll have you hit one more, G. All right, G, so now I've shifted the projection just slightly. We're going to a shorter putt, about 6 foot. What you'll notice is this putt is not only right to left, but it's also slightly uphill, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's what I love about BigTilt, is we can also practice slight uphill and downhill slopes with the well line projection system built in. So which line would you choose on this putt now?
Because this one is a little uphill, I will take a little bit more aggressive line on this one, because I want to keep speed on the ball, and with the fall in line, I know that maybe if I not super precise, it will stay short. So, and I know because I'm uphill, if I miss the hole, the slope will, slow my ball speed down.
There's a little bit more forgiveness built into the putt. And that's exactly what we see with good players, is they're able to adjust the speed that they hit putts when dealing with slope. So give it a good stroke. Never a doubt, Mr. Automatic, right?
I need to can I bring the BigTilt on the golf course? Because it will help me a lot.
This is where, again, taking those
Yeah.
training visuals from green reading, start line, and speed control out to the course. You can learn them here in a baseline indoor environment,
Yeah.
and then easily take them outside and coach them outside.
And you just mentioned a very important point is when I train players, I like to use what we call the well line with what we call perfect speed,
Sure.
and aggressive line where it's uphill, and when it's downhill, I will use the well line and the falling line
absolutely.
to be sure that if we miss putt one more time, we will have very, very tap-in putt. It was going to be very easy.
absolutely.
So I like to do that, and that make the players understand that when they're on the golf course, I also use for the falling line what I call speed 1, for the perfect line, perfect speed, speed 2, and aggressive speed, speed 3. So on the golf course, I'm using this analogy and say, okay,
love that.
we're down line, we're going to use between 1 and 2, and we're uphill, we're going to use 2 and 3. So, I mean, this is very good to be able to make our players understand what they need to do here and bring that to the golf course on the real world.
And I love what you said there, G. What you're able to do is really train adaptability, even in an indoor environment and setting. And what I like about it as a coach is we're essentially just then training that skill. We don't have to worry about imperfections on the green. We don't have to worry about the influence of wind or moisture. We have a consistent environment where, hey, we know we are just changing the speed that we're hitting our putt and really training that individual skill.
You're so right. And even if both of us are really lucky to teach in Florida, right? If we want to give a perfect putting golf lesson, we need to go maybe early in the morning because we know that the green is going to be perfect. And if we got someone's coming at 5 or 6 at night and want to work on
The quality is going to vary tremendously.
yeah, speed control or even short putts, we know that it's going to be as not as effective that if we are here, it's going to be 6 in the morning or 6 in the afternoon. It will be exactly the same perfection. I mean,
Exactly. And again, consistency and training environment being so critical. Awesome. Well, good work today, sir.
thank you very much.
Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.